Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Manata. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk.
Oh. Howdy and aloha, everybody. It's James. I'm on a talk. I need to fix this. I repositioned the camera so that you can see the trash on the floor. Oh, wait, no. Let me get it like right. No. No. See if I can get this to do what I want. Alright, we'll just leave it there. Okay, there we go. Alright, there's my shoes, my junk. Okay. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Mana Talk. Mana means power, through my ancient, my cultures. And then talking just means talking because there is a power to talking and a power that of communication and debating, rebuttaling, having back and forth types of dialogue between this person, another, and whoever. And it's important for us to be able to do that and continue to do that. And questions, and we have questions that we can um, ask, get the answers. May not be the answer you want, but at least you're getting something. You're getting some feedback, right? And then you assess it. And we should always question authority, edit sources at every turn, which some people didn't do in 2020, obviously. People like myself definitely did. Excuse me. So I'm going to go straight to some stuff I watch on uh, YouTube. It's not just politics. I watch a lot of stuff about the America's Cup. I watch girls softball, which I think is fun to watch. By the way, it's fucking cool. I watch surfing, a lot of surfing, sharpshooting. I like that stuff. I really want to go out and get something to play around with out at the range. Um, Lots of politics stuff, of course. Um, Football, baseball, and a little bit of hockey. I like watching, you know, American stuff, right? Rugby and fishing shows and stuff like that. But I don't watch the mainstream media, but I subscribe to them because I want to see what's going on and what the latest spoiler alert is coming or the latest um, propagandized message that they're trying to get out. But the thing is, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a de-evolving or a downplaying. Um, and I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it is intentional, of patriotism. And I think that's kind of where I'm going here. And I notice this a lot, that if you put the American flag up anywhere and you're patriotic to your country, which everybody should. There's like almost there's like 200 countries out there, and the Olympics is all about that. Um, we used to really celebrate the Olympics. The last few Olympics, from what I've known and researched, is have been pathetic because they don't have, for one, girls softball, which was fucked up, and they've added the dumbest fucking sports I've ever seen in my life um, to their list of sports, and removed a few that really were great to watch and fun. Um, uh, anyway, so the patriotism to me is being proud of the people and what we've accomplished, you know. And but I'm not at all proud of our government. Not at all. I'm not. I have no respect for those people, and I'd say 80 to 90% of them are compromised, either by a lobbying firm um, or some other organization. You know, some unelected official out there, or some unelected globalist, which is happening now. That's basically what's happening. Is the United States of America, which I'm very proud to be a part of. Um, I was uh, in the Navy for a little bit, and I was very proud to be fighting for my country, right, at that time. Well, basically, the reason why I went is because I was either I was going to go to jail and be on the revolving door plan, or I was probably going to die because I was hanging around in some pretty nefarious groups and people and stuff like that. You know, never joined a gang. Never joined a gang. I was like my own gang. It was just me. And I went. You know, I've been to Compton and Watts and East LA and just lots of areas. And done some pretty interesting things when I was, a youngster. A lot of us, get caught up in that sometimes. Um, but I joined, and I did a really decent job. Um, Also, which I find is very interesting, is um, my daughter joined, right, and she's amazing. And there's my grandson, Richard, just amazing kid. All right, and and I'm very proud of her and what she's accomplished and what she's done. And I just got to throw this out, shout out my brother, who I'm very proud of, just graduated from Berkeley, right? Um, Fucking amazing at the age of 60. Just an amazing man. Um, a little off on his politics as of recently, but I think he's getting back on track, in my professional opinion, which he'll start to figure out. He's not an idiot. That's for damn sure, graduating from Berkeley. But that's impressive, right? So it's just interesting that there are people out there that, right? Oh crap. That's the wrong place. Hold on. There are people out there um, that won't show, which I find very alarming. It's like they don't want to. Either they're being told not to because it's like a bad stigma or something. It's no, you don't want to get into that. Then you're concerned. You're labeled. You know, when you say patriotic, um, the first thing people think of you is you're a Trumper, right? No, that's completely incorrect. Um, but that's the first thing they think of. Are you, as soon as you say, I'm very patriotic, and they say, oh, you must vote for Trump. No, I never voted for Trump. Um, but if push came to shove these days, I would vote for Trump instead of this fucking psychopath. um, and that's still under debate. However, um, if you're as patriotic as I am, right? I mean, look, I've got Iron Man in the background, my freaking, what else is back there? Some stick and Darth Vader. It's some cool pictures of some really good cool pictures. And, there's my hat in the very background, right behind my left ear is my Carl Vincent hat that I used to wear when I was in the military. Right, when I was in the military, um, and I kept that hat because I wear it when I go protest, and that for me signifies that I had the backing of the Constitution, right? Which I really didn't know much about when I joined. I just did what I was supposed to. I was basically in dry dock the whole time. Um, Stationed in Bremerton, and then we were stationed in Alameda, Washington, and then California. But you know, a lot of guys that I were alongside with, we've transported a lot of Marines that used to tell me some stories about the Middle East and stuff like that. And these guys were on the front lines in the trenches, fighting for what they believed was protecting their families, protecting their, through the ideologies that came through the government. But then we find out, as time's moving on, that it's definitely changed, right? For sure. It's because most of our legislators, judiciaries, executives, and department heads nowadays are compromised. And compromise basically means they're not getting their funding or their campaign financing or their income, bottom line, the money in their wallet, from us, just us, right? $174,000 a year just isn't enough for most legislators. Like AOC was making like 30 something thousand dollars a year as a bartender, in 2015 or something like that. And then all of a sudden she's got $26 million in her bank. How the fuck does that happen? Anyway, so the legislation part out there is corrupt. And this has happened everywhere. And both sides are still able to invest in whatever they want to in the stock market. And what's interesting is people don't realize how that position is like insider trading. Because of a bill you voted for and passed is going to affect a certain industry, company, or the way money flows. It's just so you have before everybody, and that's how Nancy Pelosi makes most of her money. A lot of it is just elbow grease and backroom deals and shit like that. And this is just insanity. But, and I'm getting a little off track, but the whole system is just ridiculous, right? The whole system now is just completely compromised. But I still am patriotic. And there are many people out there like me, whether a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, other parties, new parties coming up, or whatever. There's about 20 fucking parties out there. But the thing is we as Americans, I was born in fucking sunny Southern California, raised in Hawaii, Alaska, Washington, Texas, mostly California, believe in each other. We believe in I believe, my neighbors, whether they're gay, straight, trans, most of them, whether they're conservative or not, whatever, they're good people. A lot of them are good people. There are some people that are compromised out there, or just are confused, or just, getting information from, CNN all fucking day long, and they're lost their fucking minds. but the majority of people out there are wonderful. I'm pushing my cart to go shopping at, wherever, Walmart or Aldi's or Hy-Vee, or it used to be Kroger's, used to be Vaughn's in California and some other places. Wherever, grocery store, and people are pretty nice and polite. There aren't too many, Karens and Kens out there, or whatever they call them. Very rare. Excuse me, sorry, I'm just looking for that item right there. Just wonderful. But it's our legislators, judiciaries, executives, and department heads that just have become total monsters. But the people are just wonderful. And some of them are compromised. Some of them are actually taking a cut from the wrong side. The wrong side. And there is division. And there is hate. Hey! I know. I don't know why. I thought I had a hit because it said it was. Hey, Snork. It was supposed to be June 8th that I was supposed to be able to. I swear. I can show it to you, but I guess I'm able to go on, which is fucking cool. But the thing is I was watching a surf meet, which I watch surf meets all the time. I'm so far from my ocean, it's so bad. It's just wrong. I should not be this far away. But it's expensive in Hawaii. It is fucking expensive. Right? So I'm watching this heat. Right? This is Cole Hujmand. Big 6'3", 190 pound. Like, that's a big fucking surfer dude, right? I'm 6'1", 6'2", or something like that. But this, and when you got a surfer like this that can move and he's agile and physically as fit as this motherfucker is, he's going to push some water. Okay, and that is the key to winning, is being able to carve up the water as best as possible. I've watched surf meets, all my life. I've been to hundreds of them, in California and Hawaii. But I just was really bummed out about this, and I was really concerned, and I'll play it for you.
To be standing up here in the final today, wow, one of the biggest, this will be the biggest result of his career.
The bottom bracket, a bit more precision and style and grace there, but we're off and running.
We sure are, and it's going to be San Clemente's Cole Hausman getting started here. Driving up into this section, huge swoop. Oh, he's on his way to a big number. This is a replay, this one during the break. And what a wave it was, Laura.
Oh, that is a...
What a wave it was, Laura. I've been listening to that fucker for decades. Anyway. And that guy's a big fucking dude surfing, man. Most of the guys, like Kelly Slater's 5'9". I think Kelly Slater is 5'9", and that guy's the GOAT. He's over 50 years old, and he's still competing with these people. He's still ranked in the top 20. Fucking amazing. But he's going through here, carving it up, kicking ass, taking no
But a good back up to the 9, though, you're right. So a big swooping roundhouse cut back. It's a little foam rebound here, waiting for it to bowl up. Now he gets to work. Engaging that rail a little bit more through these middle turns. And then a bit of S work down the line here. He'll get back out the back and wait for a better...
Excited. He wants to fucking just rip. I know this feeling. I was able to, believe it or not, I'm going to brag about myself. My older brother, who just graduated from Berkeley, God bless that kid, man. He's awesome. Said, you should go pro. Because at the time I was 6'1" and a half, something. And I don't think I was ever 6'2". I think I was 6'1" and a half. But I was 200 pounds. And I was just surfing the fucking biggest waves. Surf Clear Lake, Iowa, waves are 6 inches. Yeah. They've got some good waves at the Great Lakes. look it up on YouTube. There's been some epic surfing with some good waves, either 3 to 4 feet. That's 6 to 8 feet head, the face, because the way most Hawaiians are people that know surfing, judge the waves by the back of the waves. So the face of the wave, from the bottom of the wave where it's flat to the top of the wave to where it crests over, could be 8 feet. But we judge it, most real surfers will say, well, that's a 4-foot wave. And that's the way that works. But he said, you should have went pro. And I was doing good. I mean, I was charging backdoor, which is pipeline, log cabins. I was surfing Waimea Bay. I was surfing Haleiwa. I was surfing some big fucking, I was surfing in Kauai. I was surfing Kali'iwai, which is a crazy fucking right wave. Cannons on the end of the road in Kauai is pipeline, but more dangerous because the fucking coral, and I'm telling you, the coral is crazy because the coral is a living thing. It's as sharp as glass. I mean, if you just swiped your finger across a little bit of coral in the ocean, it's going to cut your finger, right? And when you run into that with your body or anything, it's going to cut you. The other thing is I'd crashed at a place called Cemeteries, which is on the west coast of Kauai. Just hit my shoulder. It was like right here, I think. Right here. And like 3 or 4 days later, I started to feel a little bump here. What the hell is this? Right? And then my mom goes, I don't know what that is. And like a few days later, it got bigger. And she goes, well, yeah, you should get the doctor. It's growing. So it happened, and I should have kept it, but I don't. Maybe it's somewhere. Who knows? But it was a piece of coral because I crashed in and my shoulder hit the coral, and the coral fragment that was in my body grew and got bigger. And when I got it, it was about the size of a little pearl. The doctor had to cut it out. And that's the way coral works, just letting you know. So when you crash in Hawaii on coral reef, you got to pick that shit out of your body, for sure. You can't just piss on it like a fucking... and man of war. Anyway, so as I'm watching this, and I watched this live when I first saw this, and I'm watching this guy, he's just fucking, tearing it up. And this guy, Wilcox, Jacob, did a great job competing with him. One of the local kids out there in the Gold Coast, which is the east side of Australia. But this guy was just fucking on fire.
Can he move? Can he dump the 5-5 here and really put the pressure on Jacob Wilcox? Wow! Big flare on the tail, drives up into the bowl, really fast in transition, and as a result, he's able to get back.
I'm telling you, it is not an easy task. For one, just to learn. Try standing on a paddleboard in still water. It's tough. And then try surfing this motion of water that's continually, evolving as you're going. And you've got to be able to navigate that, like within milliseconds, to know what to do. And it has nothing to do with taking your class and learning how to do it like a mechanic. Being a mechanic, you learn tricks and trades over time and you become faster, but there's a lot of mechanic schools that'll teach you those tricks and trades and where to position your arms and your legs. And you want to use, your big muscles more than your little muscles, just so you don't get tired quicker. But anyway, so this guy wins this competition. Just amazing, right? Just amazing, wins this fucking competition. And he's just kicking ass.
As he flicks the tail, and he's going to ride out of this. To Cole Houshman with a victory here. You just see him putting together a couple of more contests as he flicks the tail, and he's going to ride out of this big flare up, right Craigie style.
Yeah, he dominated that. So and this is on YouTube. So he's done, and they come in.
But what a performance in the final, near perfect. Look at those numbers. The best heat score total of the event, and he did it in the final.
Yeah,
amazing stuff.
That's the way that what you want to do it. You want to peak in the final, and that's exactly what Cole Houshman has done here. The boys are celebrating. Koloe's probably just trying to suck out a bit of that winning energy. But
So, and that was cool, but there was a part of it I really thought should have been displayed from the World Surf League, right? Wait, let me make sure I'm at the right place. Yeah, see on the bottom it says World Surf League. And I haven't seen that too much at all from them. When what a lot of these surfers will do as soon as they win their big tournaments, or their big, tournaments basically, is they'll put on their Brazilian flag, or they'll put on their French flag, or their Japan flag, and they'll drape it over them. But I haven't seen that from the World Surf League in, God, like a year or so now. So I put in the comments, I'm just like, wait, what? Why don't you show the, why don't you show him fucking, I put right here, oddly, you didn't show Cole with his American flag, right? And then I also put Fukushima, because they never talk about fucking Fukushima, these jerk-offs. But I thought, hell, I've never even mastered swimming, let alone surfing. Yeah, start on a boogie board, okay? Oh my God, Elle, you live in California. You were approximately 8 to 10 miles away from the beach, and you haven't mastered surfing, maybe more, but I mean, you're like a stone. That's mind-boggling to me. Girl, bucket list. Swim, boogie board. And I swear to God, if I come out there, I would be more than happy to teach you. I used to teach lessons in Waikiki from my Uncle Ben Ipa. Which is interesting, because when I was a kid, and this was between my junior and my senior year, I was pissed off that I had to work with my Uncle Ben. My dad said, you got to go work. I'm like, what? Okay, we got a lot of stuff we need to do, girl. I mean, there's some things, yeah, definitely, and I used to do BMM motocross, and I used to do, tons of BMX bicycle motocross, and then I used to have a KX500 motorcycle, dirt bike riding, not racing. I can swim underwater more than above water. Yeah, I am going to, when I go back out there, and I think it's next year I'm going back out there, I'll come by, we'll go to the beach, hopefully it'll be in summer, be warm, I'll teach you how to do some boogie board, it'll be cool. But, I promise, if I get out there during the summer. What was kind of a bummer to me is, and I'm, patriotic guy, let me play this here real quick. Let's see. Is, oh shit, it keeps going to this. Why does this keep doing this? Okay, okay, here we go.
This is you, and this is your life online. But your privacy can be instantly washed away. Snoopers watch your every click. Criminals want to steal your passwords, logins, and banking credentials. Protect what's yours with Surfshark.
That's what I'm saying. But they don't show it on YouTube. See, he's draping his flag. And that guy's from... yeah, so it's like a small tidbit. Yeah, I want to see... Hold on. Where is it?
Turn was big, you know, CT level surfing without a doubt.
That was a 9.8. Combine that with a 9.17. Cole Hausman, congratulations from the 2% crew.
Right?
18.
He's proud. And they all do this, but for some reason on YouTube, they don't show this, and it's just kind of alarming to me. Wave your flag. Wave your country. Be proud of it. Right? It's just very odd to me. New VPN. $20. Is that NordVPN? Anyway. So, this is the biggest concern I have. God, I get distracted so easily. And it's not ADHD. I'm just a hunter-gatherer. I see something, my target, my crosshairs just go in different directions. But I think it's a travesty for many countries, right? And it seems like it's almost pre-planned, especially when you have, you know, an outfit. And let me get to that. Let me see here if I can. Where are we at? Yeah. Okay. Give me a second. Put it in this account. Hang on. Oh, now I gotta switch accounts. God damn it. Go here. Oh, fucking remember what this is. Hang it. Alright. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so, you know, all I'm saying is it just seems to me that patriotism for your country is taboo now, right? And I love the Olympics. Like I said, I love the Olympics. You know, I think politics should be about Olympics, right? If your country has the better swimmer, it shouldn't be that. You know, they should have chess in there. They should have spelling in the Olympics. I think that would be awesome. But then, you know, you couldn't spell other languages, so that's probably not a good idea. Anyway, you know, it's a great place for people to compete physically. That's the part of the Olympics. It's a physical thing. You know, you could have chess. I think they should have chess in the Olympics for sure. I know they have archery. They have shooting. You know, they want to ban guns across the world, but they have shooting in the Olympics, right? Which is crazy. But let me get to this real quick. Oh, why isn't that coming up? Oh, boy. Alright, let's try it again. Get out of it. Go back in. Go to... There we go. Okay. I'm going to play this. Because this has been my target. Let me see. My new podcast EP is coming on Sunday. Gonna talk AI, WF updates, and build a... Oh my god. Perfect. Yeah. What day? I work on Sunday. I just tried to move your cursor off my screen. That's cute. Alrighty. But let me play this because I think this is interesting. And this happened like a little while ago. But people are privy to it, which I think is important. But I think we need to... Let's freaking jump to...
My colleagues behind me are here is to call attention to something that is very serious and threatens this country. The reason is on May 21st through May 30th, it's a possibility that this president will be giving away our sovereignty. It's a possibility that several agencies have been compromised by China, which they have. What Tetros has done is undermine not only the WHO, but every country that's a member. We sent out a letter on May 10th to Kevin McCarthy to defund, for the United States to defund the World Health Organization. We are now putting in roughly $700 million. Undermine not only the WHO, but every country that's a member. We sent out a letter on May 10th to Kevin McCarthy to defund, for the United States to defund the World Health Organization. We are now putting in roughly $700 million, which is unbelievable that this country's doing that. The reason is to call attention to it. In roughly $700 million, which is unbelievable that this country's doing that. The reason is to call attention to it. The reason is to make sure this country is not undermined by what Joe Biden and his administration is doing. I've got Frank Gaffney, who I don't think has come yet, but if you want here he is. If you want a good rundown of what the perils we're facing, you need to read this book. Frank was in the Reagan administration. He's a true patriot. And let me call on him to say a few words. And folks, we've got 18 House members that are going to speak. I'm going to ask for y'all to be under a minute and a half, and because I want everybody to be heard. Frank, would you come forward?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Congressman. Thanks to all of you, most especially thanks to all of you. The Chinese Communist Party runs the World Health Organization.
Speak up, Frank.
It runs all of you, most especially thanks to all of you. The Chinese Communist Party runs the World Health Organization.
Speak up, Frank.
Thanks to all of you, most especially thanks to all of you. The Chinese Communist Party runs the World Health Organization.
Speak up, Frank.
It runs the World Health Organization in furtherance of its long-standing objective of global governance. That's one world government. There's no room in the world government for the United States of America, certainly not the free America that we love. We've created a sovereignty coalition to fight against the World Health Organization's efforts to obtain global dominance through public health dominance. And we are very appreciative of you, Congressman Norman, most especially, for taking the lead, along with your colleagues, to get us out of the World Health Organization before it finishes off America. Thank you, sir.
I'd like to call on Dr. Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie, call after that. After you call on Chris Smith.
Sir, thank you. Ronnie Jackson, 13th Congressional District of Texas. I'll be really brief here. I just want to say that, the World Health Organization is a corrupt organization. They're nothing more than a puppet for the Chinese government. We don't have to guess about that. We know that because we saw what happened shortly after COVID took place. We saw how they were complicit in trying to cover up what happened, how they stopped the flow of information. I'll tell you that the Biden administration, it boggles my mind. This is just another one of the many reasons that one of the many things that they've done to put America last and to make us part of some world governance that they see us being part of in the future. We are a sovereign country. No other country is going to tell us. Another country will not determine how, if, and when we can protect ourselves during a future pandemic. And no other country is going to use American taxpayer dollars as their piggy bank or their slush fund and spend it whenever and however they see.
So this is the new Republican narrative, right? This should be a different show. This should be a different show, but I'm just going to clip that other one out. Yeah, I'm disagreeing as well. Now, I think what this does, right, is it for them it's a Birdstone process. It's always been one stone kills, one or several birds, is they can continue to fund the military industrial complex knowing there's a military threat. Yeah. But that's a good, you know what? Snork, you want to come in? Al, you want to stop by? Or it's up to you guys. I'll send you the link. But I think this is an interesting conversation because of what I just said. If you still have the military threat, you have the economic threat, right? Now, and they want to label it, yep, and no problem arming Nazis. And exactly, right? Exactly. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to come on. But here's the thing. But they're bringing attention to it. Whether it's... Oh, shit. Okay. Well, let me send you. Let me grab it. I just really... I'm actually kind of just tickled pink that they're actually calling this shit out. But I think the connection to China... I mean... We owe them more money than we owe the galaxy, right? I mean, who knows what the Biden's CNN, MSNBC, Fox, whoever, what their, who knows what their, I'm getting it, who knows, it's on Twitter, by the way. Yeah, who knows what their, oh shit, you wrote some stuff, and I haven't read that yet, Snork, sorry. Yeah, I was watching the Elon Musk's Axiom or whatever, NASA, I don't know the difference anymore on who's doing what. But I mean, that's the thing is do we know? I mean, okay. Klaus Schwab created the NGO of the World Health Organization back in 71. Okay? And a lot of people that were part of that were from NATO. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was created just after came in a few years later. The UN's been around longer. Yeah, we know that. But I just find it interesting that it could be. I mean, Snork, do you think there's a connection between the World Health Organization or the World Economic Forum with China? Do you think there could be any kind of relationship there? We owe them a lot of money. I know that. We owe China a lot of money.
There could be. Whenever money is involved, you never know.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not taking it so much that China was responsible. Is every company that went to China went there with our blessing. So, NAFTA. But again, a lot of the companies were given incentives to go to China. One of the incentives they were given, some of them were soft incentives, such as when they went over, they didn't have to worry about getting lawsuits for anything that happened in their factories. Where here, and I'm not against paying people to get injured at work, but what I'm saying is if you're having it made in China, it's like going to the store and buying a roll of toilet paper. You typically don't sue the toilet paper company for your usage of toilet paper. Here in the United States, there was an incident just a few weeks ago where somebody was using a rectal plug and thought that it wasn't didn't have any magnetism in it, wore it during an MRI and had it thrust up into their chest, which is pretty serious. And they're suing the company for it. So making it China you don't have to worry about those lawsuits. Let's see if I can tune this. So, but again, so we ran out of things that we could do that they could just pay us money, or what they wanted to spend the money that we were giving them. So they bought like half the farms in Iowa. The only person close to ownership of farms in Iowa, other than the Chinese, is Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And
260,000 in Missouri acres. 260,000 acres in Missouri. Crazy.
But farmland is a big company for food, and a lot of our pig farms are now owned by farmland, and farmland is owned by China. I think it's farmland. And so once you get to a point, the money starts flowing between.
Right.
There was nothing that prevented anything from going to China. I don't see them as doing anything illegal except maybe bribing who got to make the deals. But
yeah.
all of the things that were happening, though, were basically things that the government should have said, hey, this is how much we want to allow ownership to be transferred overseas. And that didn't happen. Because, who knows if any money got transferred to any funds for running for election. And a lot of people don't realize how much money a lot of politicians make to run. So if for instance you hold a meeting in a football stadium or a basketball stadium, it isn't unusual for a candidate themselves to get a 5% fee of the money that comes in from that for I can't remember the term for it, but it's like a sales lead when you get a commission. It's like you get a commission on the number of tickets that you got sold. So they might get 5%.
Royalty?
Yeah. And that's usually not something you think of as all of these events actually can be income for the actual person.
Well, there's the thing about China is there's interest that's been accruing for a long time, for decades, and our bills aren't being paid. Maybe there's been some threats. Who knows? But the connection between this World Economic Forum and the processes and how we've been in debt and how we pay and we go out and do our how we've kind of sold ourselves to this other country, and at the same time saying we're the greatest country in the world, make America great again, has been just wrong. I mean, it's a facade, right? Let's just be real here. The people that have held most of the power ever since NAFTA was when the biggest NAFTA helped destroy, and you know this, Detroit. They called it Motor Town. What was the name of the?
Yeah, Detroit destroyed Detroit, but it also destroyed our industrial base. So right now, if we wanted to build a factory in the United States, we would have to buy the parts to build the factory
from
China, Japan, Germany.
That's terrible.
So we do not have the ability right now to retool America. If let's say tomorrow we said nothing else is coming in from China, we'd be limited to Japan and Germany mostly. There are some Italian companies that do good stuff, and some Spanish companies that do some good stuff, but we'd be limited to them. The Japanese would be in a point where they would say, what's the best market for us? Not, hey, let's do this. They would be just looking for the cash part. But easily, we could be pushed out of the market. We would not have materials to go on. And realistically, if we say that we are pro-defense, there is no defense if we cannot manufacture in the United States.
Yeah, Russia also has a lot of metals, certain types of metals that we used to use.
We still have to get most of our titanium for aircraft from Russia.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting, and I put out a video on my Facebook and my Twitter, and I think on TikTok, in regards to the relationship of World War II, which people don't realize about Russia is, civilians and military, they lost about 40 million people in that fight. We lost 400,000. Okay. Yeah, which is, and then all of a sudden we turned on it. It was just crazy. But now going back to this video, which I put up, which is these legislators coming out and saying, look, it's China, right? But here's the thing. So that I'm thinking is it kind of takes away from, well, maybe it doesn't, because if you can put a politician in a position where there is a connection, right, which is going to be hard to do because the freaking Chinese are pretty snaky, and they're not stupid. They learn English at the age of like 6, just letting people know, right? So if you can put that connection, that's called, I just had it in my head, when you're espionage, it's not espionage, it's not
intelligence,
a traitor, but it's some constitutional conviction that could happen to you. What is that called? It's not. It's it'll come in. Anyway, it's bad, right? It's bad. So if they can connect that, not just an NGO, which the World Economic Forum is. The World Economic Forum is just a freaking giant Amway meeting, right? That's what they are, and everybody goes there to learn on how to fuck the 99% more every Davos meeting is around. It's a rendition. No, rendition. I think it's what Julian Assange is being accused of, or no.
Won't think about it until 2:00.
I know, no, yeah. It'll come to be said at some point, but what I'm saying is they can link that offense or that label to the current leaders, then they can really put them in a bad position if it has to do with country upon country, right? You're not your ally country, but a sworn enemy country. Then you can do that. Oh wait, Jordan Lott, yo Mana, can we spy on the World Economic Forum and the WHO? Can we spy on their criminal behavior, expose their corruption? We're trying, honestly. Free advice: don't give politicians your money. It'll end up in Ukraine anyway. Also, espionage. I think it's the Espionage Act, which I kind of slipped out. Sedition, yes. Yeah. Not rendition. It's sedition. It's sedition, right? Is that?
That is one of the things called for.
Yeah. So
or maybe it was not too long after. I can't remember if it was actually in the Constitution or if it was.
Snowden is in the same. What is he being? Anyway, so I think that's the reason for them putting China connected to the World Economic Forum, connected to the administration or Biden, etc., which could be the case. I mean, I can't put it past, and people, China just isn't a bunch of people making fucking stringing shoes together for Nike. These people at the higher ups are extremely beyond. Their intelligence. Have you ever worked with anybody from China?
Yeah.
Snark. Let me give you an example. There was a guy that came, and I was selling cars to VW, and he wanted a certain type of car, and I started going over the numbers with him on this lease, and he proved me wrong. He goes, "That's not what it is." And I go, "Well, I was going by what I was being told to use through our calculation process. I'm not going to go into deep right now, but it's real simple. You follow this, you put this. This is their income. This is what their payment be. This is what their interest is going to be based on credit score. He goes. Let me show you what it should be. This Chinese guy, right? And I was off by like 20%. His payment should have been 20% lower, because what he was, and I showed this to the tower. I call it the tower, right? Where you take your numbers back and you go show it to the sales manager, and the sales manager will say, "Is that their offer?" And you'll go, "Yeah, that's their offer." They go, "All right, go put them in the car. That's fine. That'll work." Because they know, the tower knows how far they can go deep into the car. They know what they paid for the car, right? And I don't. I just get the numbers and the process as a salesman, just to throw out, see if they're going to be a laydown. It's called a laydown. So if you take the first asking price on a new car lease, whether it's sale or lease, buy or lease, you're a laydown, because you're just taking it at full pop. They're going to screw you over, but if you're banter back and forth, they're going to cut you down. So I took the numbers back, and he goes, and I remember the tower's face. He looked at the paper. I showed him. He goes, and he looked at his screen, and he goes, "Fuck," because he had us. He knew what the MSRP was, which is bullshit, but he also knew what we were paying for the car, and he got that off the internet. How much, and you can find that out by going through there's a new app for it now, which sucks because it really took away a lot of money for salespeople. But he did the deal. Bye-bye, thank you, have a good day. But he was, I'm going to teach you how to swim, girl, and surf, or boogie board at least. But here's the thing. I was dumbfounded. I felt stupid. That guy made me feel stupid. And when it came to cars, I never felt stupid. Right? That was like the first time that ever happened. So I want people to understand this very simple fact. They're very well educated. And what was your experiences with working with the Chinese?
Oh yeah, well trained. A lot of in colleges right now. Most of our math teachers are coming from either China or India.
Oh, India too. I was just going to say India for sure.
We have very few Americans going into math, which I also consider. I mean, if anybody says they're pro-defense, if you're not making sure that our people are under a system where they can learn math well, that is, to me, where we should be spending more money
it's a telltale
than money
sign.
we're putting on B-52s flying.
Right? No, exactly, which is right down the street from me, Woodman Air Force Base.
You got B-52s? I thought you had B-2s.
B-2s. I'm sorry. Yeah, B-2s. B-2 bombers. Yeah, they fly over all the time, man. Those things, and they rumble. When they fly over, everything rumbles. I mean, it's so crazy. It is so crazy. But, I just really, it's hard to believe, and I'll show you. It's not hard not to believe, I meant to say, that there maybe isn't a connection between maybe Klaus Schwab created, which he did, and then it was compromised, or they knew to do this all along. But that's what they have to prove now. This is where I'm getting to is, so they not only have to prove that there is sedition or some kind of internal domestic espionage happening with an international entity, because that's what they're saying, but they also have to prove that there's a connection from China to the World Economic Forum, that the World Economic Forum is being completely and absolutely and totally influenced and ran by China. I don't see how they're going to fucking pull that out, unless they know
even
something
if they
we don't
were.
know.
I don't know how the internal people wouldn't have the economic force to prevent any kind of adequate. So there are groups of people that are extremely wealthy that don't even get talked about in the news.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
For one, we have a thing called Parliament in England, where one part of it, not all of the people are extremely wealthy, but the House of Lords was originally the wealthy people in England. That you had to be a really wealthy set to be in that place, and they owned a lot of stuff in America. I mean, and the other royal families.
It's time for me to get set up for therapy, and I use this room as my office.
Were very lucrative businesses in the United States, and I don't know if they still do. I don't know if they wasted all their money or whatever. But just given the fact that they own things like tobacco companies, alcohol companies, plumbing companies, just thousands of companies. And when I see how much money they're worth, I don't see, even if they sold the companies 10 or 15 years ago, I don't see an accounting for how much money that those companies were worth. And I think the people of the countries that own don't know how much their monarchs actually own. And they act like they're poor, getting a small salary from their governments, and they're reaping. Or if that's not the case, and they lost all that money, they're not really somebody that I would go to saying that this is somebody I want to take advice from.
Yeah, there's a lot of names out there, God, I'm trying to look for this video that I picked up, but there are lots of oligarch type families that people don't even know exist and that are out there that are richer, like this guy Pepe Sion, whatever, but nobody knows just how powerful that guy is, and nobody's ever heard of him. And there's a few others. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Not sure of him, but I just know that there's so many places you don't have to say how much money you made. Now I realize we're supposed to here in the United States, but these other countries, there's ways to hide the money. Even if you're American, there's ways to hide the money. I'm not like saying I do, but
we try to do that on our taxes all the time. I don't care what anybody says.
I just don't have enough things to be able to even hide it in.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact is that when the people are really wealthy, they've got a lot of means to be able to sidestep the taxes. They have a lot of ability to make money in other countries, shift the money between countries where it doesn't look like they made anything. I can remember when I worked at one company, the parts would come in from the country that they were made in, and they would reprice the parts so that they were all almost identical in cost to what we were getting for profit. So our expenses, even though they were actually profit for the companies that we were spending, showed us no need to pay the United States any taxes on the billions of dollars of products.
So it started out with news.
States. And that just seems
with news of U.S. Senators.
And there's all of these methods of hiding all kinds of money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Swiss Bank, they're South Africa, let's not forget the Cayman Islands, and just all kinds of places to move money. Tangible money backed by, gold or whatever. But the thing is now is what they're concerned about is central bank digital currency. Are you familiar with central bank digital currency?
Somewhat.
If you know me, you definitely have to know a little bit about it.
I'm kind of concerned on everything that's going on with this. I really like a mixed currency to at least you still have some ability to have some cash. I should be able to have some bills in my pocket that I can give somebody. I don't have to
just
have
leave it the way it is. I don't see what the problem is.
But I'm more concerned that if something's totally digital, that it can all be wiped out in a second. I don't
imagine somebody hacking that.
Yeah, I'm concerned about even owning stocks.
Yeah.
When I got my new job, as soon as I had $10,000 in earnings for my retirement, I called them up and I said, I want all of that money transferred that to guaranteed income. You lose so much money. And right now I'm losing 10% per quarter on the amount of money that I have in my savings, because that's between inflation and everything else. The stocks they put in for people's retirement is going down. Well, if I look at how we're run stocks, we look at stocks. Well, the odds are that if they're selling stocks to institutions, they're probably having the institutions buy the stocks that are doing not as well, so that the stocks that are doing really well can go to their high-paying customers.
I know.
But anyway, I feel like right now a lot of us are paying for things that are happening with our pensions losing value. So while I significantly cut down, a year's worth of deposits, maybe not a year, but I felt I wanted to have some put away, that if everything else went to zero, I didn't go completely to zero. And I might end up doing that again. I like I said, if the value keeps going down, so right now I am making more money on the $10,000 that I put away than all the rest. So everything else is always losing value, but I'm always making money on that original $10,000 I put in bank.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I got to tell you about this. I got it. I think I might have it, and I'll send it to you. Now, regular banks, 0.01, maybe 0.001 or 0.002 is interest on your money at usual banks. There's these other banks that have popped up recently, and you got to be careful. But some of them I've heard of for a long time. They're getting 4% right off the bat, 4%. But anyway, I wanted to go back to the bloodlines, as I have that up right now. I don't know if you can see the YouTube. Can you see the YouTube? How many screens do you have? Yeah, okay. What people?
I have 2 up right now.
All right, cool, awesome. I need to get another one. I should have 2. I can get to, I can buy a screen off of Facebook Market for like $10. Jesus. Anyway, so who you think runs the world? And then there's the usual names: Rothschilds, Rockefellers, whoever. But and then they say who really runs the world. So I looked into some of these names. This is on TikTok. By the way, I do not recommend people going on to TikTok unless you're ready to be bombarded by marketing craziness, flat earthers, all kinds of shit. But you can sift through the rubble quickly. But this stuff right here, and I looked up, and some of these people are fucking just, they own. And I looked up, I was surprised that these names of the people know this stuff. We have no idea, and this is what the point I think you were making earlier about China. We really don't know who's running anything. I mean, I would definitely, you can make a guess or speculation. I know an entity out there, or a U.S. department, that fucking knows for sure, the CIA, right? I guarantee they know who the richest, most influential, most powerful singular person or persons are, right? I would guarantee they fucking know. All right.
Their main emphasis for what they do, believe it or not, is to know how much money everybody is worth.
Period.
So if they actually have to publish some of it. So there's a website, and every citizen is allowed to go to it. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to prove your citizenship. But go to the CIA World Factbook, and every day they update that.
I'm going there. CIA World fact, but oh my God, it comes right up.
Yeah, like that. So they are the absolute best knowledge base there is. Now, all of the information isn't published every day. So some people get it like hourly, maybe by the minute. Mm-hmm. Some people get it weekly. Some people get it once a year. Right. So they know how much money people have. They know the variables going into how much money they're going to make and all of that, right. And they publish it. So they know, like for a given region, they know how much a part of China makes, how much food it grows, what they're growing. You should go to a part in there where you could say the Netherlands, and you could go to how much
China right now.
Yeah, and you will get. I'm seeing a flag.
Yeah, flag. I got it. I just had to make it.
But if you go to like products, things that they make, there is. It'll tell you all of the stuff that they make, how much it's worth, and it's a wonderful place to go for getting all types of information. How much land is in an area? All this. And this is constantly published. Like I say, the only person that really gets up to date, well, I mean, not the only, but the main one, would be the President of the United States, Vice President of the United States, Speaker of the House. And one of the things that's always concerned me about, so if one of the former speakers of the House we had, her husband was an investment broker.
Right.
She made a horrible amount of money. We don't know how much money her husband made. We don't know how much money her husband advised. But I'm very concerned that knowledge might have also been shared with her husband's clients. She might have been using that money for making her own business decisions.
Right.
And I imagine, again, once they're not talking about what's happening on shore, their means of collecting information to be sure they got a lot of information are not your typical, did I read it in the news? There are some other organizations that know more than they do. So we're not used to talking about those. But the one called CONCOM,
right?
So that's like the level above the president. So that and when after 9/11, they put in a backup government. So
the CCP?
Is it CCP?
I don't know. I'm not reading. I'm just saying, Mao and the CCP established under autocratic social system and that was done way back. That was in between 58 and 62.
No, I was talking about the American backup system for.
Okay.
So after 9/11, remember Cheney set up the second government, and in case the president and vice president get killed, automatically, if we're in a time of war, the second government is supposed to take over.
Oh wow, Jesus!
So I think it's called CONCOM, continuity of the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't get talked about very much.
CONCOM?
I'm looking for it. I forget what it's called.
That's right.
Continuity of government's coordinated effort within each of the executive, legislations, and judicial branches to ensure that the governance and essential functions continue to be formed before, during, and after an emergency. So there's different levels of it. I'm not sure who it's under, but so we got that. There's an organization that collects information.
Right.
They're actually called the NRO, and it's very often not talked about. Even when they launch a satellite for one of their observation vehicles, they don't even use NRO on there. They use they call it NROL. But they're actually probably our top organization for collecting information. they launched one satellite with their slogan on it of total information awareness. But so we have things out there that sometimes I feel like people are quick to say CIA, quick to put CIA in the movies, and I think we have an awful lot more agencies doing things, but it's real easy to blame the CIA. And it's like for years.
Yeah, for sure. There are probably
years,
groups, and I'm just going to throw this out there, that we have no idea what their actual titles are. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a good point.
But for many years, we kept saying that we were sending a U2 up to go see things, and this was back when we had the SR-71 and its predecessor,
the Blackbird,
the one that came before the Blackbird too, and they never talked about it.
It looked like a pencil.
No, there was another one that looked like a Blackbird, but it was faster.
It did? I'm trying to remember.
I think it was the A12.
Okay.
And the D21. Those were the other versions of the SR-71, and but they never once said they were taking an SR-71 up. They didn't want to say. So every time they sent an SR-71 up, they said they're sending up a U2. So nobody would know what they were sending up and what its capabilities were.
Right.
So you can always expect there's going to be some white rabbits out there that were, like a magician's rabbit where, hey, look at this. So you don't see what else is happening.
Inside the hat itself.
Yeah. And so
I wanted people to see, and you can probably see this on the YouTube, is China's been around for a long time. Japan's been around for a long time, right? So it's very, I know we're badass, and I know we're just really a fantastic country, but we're babies compared to some countries out there that have been organized and thorough and doing their whatever political or social process they've been through for a long time. China, Japan, they've had their system for a long time. Others as well. Mongolia was around longer than most people even realize. But so that's again kind of goes back to their influence, and do they have of what these guys are saying. I mean, they're saying that the World Economic Forum, in a sense, was created by China, and they're all together, and I'm just really finding that hard to believe. Oh wait, sure, sorry, Cheryl said something. Did you guys hear the Senate and Congress were told to get satellite phones because yes, I heard about that. They're supposed to get satellite phones so they will be able to reach each other on taxpayers' dollars. That's true.
That would be part of COGCOM.
Wait. Can I look that up?
Let me pull that back up.
You want to share?
Just a second. Let me just put it in the continuity of government.
Yeah, put it in the. Want me to share it? I don't mind. Whoever wants to share. I don't.
I don't have this really well thought out, but I'm going to put it in the.
That's all right.
I'm going to put it in the.
Nothing here on Montauk ever really is, which everybody can attest to, right? Yeah. So this is actually true.
There's a link.
All right.
So continue of operations plan. Here's COOP. Another part of it, they call it several different names. COGCON is the COGCON levels is what I should have been saying. But these are all the steps. Okay. So there's parts of COGCON where they have to be able to reach people with alternative methods.
Got it.
And even the internet itself was actually originally called the hot potato communications method, as the original internet, when it was set up, was meant to be able to find a way to get a message to the person that was involved, even if like half the telephone networks in the United States were blown out.
Wow, that's a little alarming.
Yeah. So you're actually pulling this up and seeing it now?
Yeah, I got it up. It's on YouTube. You'll see it in a second.
Oh.
I got it. I got you. Don't worry. I got you.
Now, how many people even heard of this before?
Not me. That's Federal Executive Branch Government completed a network where location maintains alternative facility conduct. Federal agency and Department of Advanced Relocation teams warm up their alternative sites and capabilities, which include testing communications and IT systems, ensure that alternate facilities are prepared to receive continuity staff, track agency leaders and successors daily.
So that first one right there, number 4, basically covered your satellite.
What I was saying. That's it. Federal executive branch government employees at their normal work locations maintain alternate facility and conduct periodic continuity readiness exercises. This is part of that, for them to get a satellite phone. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, there's probably extra cars, extra helicopters.
Yeah, just in case.
All kinds of things ready.
It's the just in case stuff. That's what it is. Just in case. Just in case we take down the internet. Just in case we cut off all the gas. So,
and we have no idea if any parts of this were in effect while we were at war with Iraq.
Right? I was in Desert Storm. That was a joke. That was a joke, man.
But also, during COVID, this is also a period where it would have been okay to invoke this as being the primary government.
Yep. Well, here's my concern now is, have they had this ability with these cell phones, or they're just doing it now? Because
my guess is we're not looking at a regular cell phone.
Right. I think I know what you're talking about. Something just for the chosen few, So why would you need to have that alert go out to the senators now?
That would be for the special helicopters.
Right? I don't think look, Stork, we've been talking, and Cheryl's going to be on soon. But we've been talking about some crazy shit since, late 2016, 2017. You probably were on a little longer than I was on all this YouTube crap. But is the fucking world really going crazy, or is it just me?
I think it's much more crazy than we even know.
Yeah, it's much more nuts than... Because we were talking about stuff that had been, commonplace. Money in politics, Medicare for all, election processes, and, stuff that's been baffling people's minds for decades. And all of a sudden, 2020 came and things went just wow. Wow, right? Just nuts, dude. Sure, I sent you the link. Sure, said, send me a link. I sent her a link. I'm still kind of baffled. I gotta play that again. Erickson. Hello, James.
We gotta find Aeolus. You had a question for physics that was more Aeolus's territory.
Oh man! Well, this is what happened and Cheryl and Eric and a bunch of others were talking about this. Is they went fully democratic, like you had to get the vaccine because of your job. I get that.
Yeah.
And so did my daughter.
I'm so old. I had no chance to get another job.
Yeah, and my daughter had to too. She had to do that, right? In the Air Force. But the thing is a lot of these people just went on that side. I had a few conversations with him. Dude, you just need to be careful with this stuff. But he had already done it before I even was able to do anything. And a bunch of people out there, like even Broken Carpenter, went in that direction. I know one person who didn't go in that direction was one of, Cheryl, you, Eric, and Dominic. You guys are just, I don't know. You just think differently. I think it's important for people to know that. That's all I'm saying. I gotta send Eric this thing. Samurai.
A lot of my people I work with, I are not doing well.
What do you mean?
I mean, I had to take over 2 other teachers' work because
why?
They had almost died.
Oh crap!
Of course, I was pretty sick too.
Yeah, you were pretty sick, but here's the thing: I really am starting to believe that the human body is a lot more resilient and a lot more defensive than what I think these people that created the MRE believe.
That's actually what looks like what's happening is that.
Yeah, we're going to have a study out. Go ahead.
Most of us got COVID before we got the shots. But the mandate was, we didn't mandate that we had to test to see if you already had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They mandated that you take the shot.
Yeah.
And realistically, to me, the logical thing would have been to have, if you're tested for it, not take it. So all of those that got sick at my work, and there's more than just the 2 that I had to take over their classes. So I was getting paid a lot extra this last semester because I was taking over, like I said, 2 extra teachers' class loads. There's other people that's sick that are work too, and so what happens is you get exposed to things, and your immune system is just overloaded, just immediately taking it really bad. My cousin died a month ago. I just seeing all of these people that suddenly they're healthy and they can get some things. There's other things that are going to pop up. And of course, I don't watch the mainline news actually, but who knows? We're seeing things. In other countries, we see news of number of fungal infections is going up. And originally, when it was posted that people were dying of COVID, usually the last step where they died, or one of the last steps for many people, was fungal lung infections. And so, you have to be thinking about what's going on. I'm sorry. But so, like I said, I suddenly became, after taking the vaccine, medicines that I was taking for like high blood pressure, I suddenly became intolerant of them. And I got very sick very quickly because I thought I was taking my medicine like I should. And of course, I needed to get off of those right away. And if I didn't get off of them as soon as I did, I probably wouldn't have made it.
Oh my God. Let me just say, hey guys, real quick. Hey guys, hey Eric. So here's the thing. Mike, I just found out from my niece, because I never asked, because I didn't want to ask, because it was pretty horrific. One of my cousins, who's like very close to me, big, white, German-looking, 6'4", 6'5", had a Harley. He'd fit right in at any Sturgis fucking biker event, right? Sturgis biker event. And he had he was doing great. He had been working with the school for a long time. He'd been retired. I think he was just retiring. But he got it. And then I just found out that he got it. I didn't know. This is like a a few days ago, matter of fact. And it's pretty crazy. And then so that sucks, knowing, because we were told he was just, he had a CPAP machine, but he'd been fine. And then all of a sudden, but here's the thing that, as you guys can see, I have it up right now on, I'm sure, hopefully you can see it, but this is from the American Medical Association. And if you read this article, which I'll send to you, right? For the first time since World War II, U.S. life expectancy has declined for 2 consecutive years in a row. And then they say, here's why. And you're thinking, as you're looking at that, they're just going to make some bullshit story. They don't clearly indicate that it's what we all know it could be. But what they do say is that children are dying more. I mean, this is unprecedented. Unprecedented. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I got to go check my chicken. It's cooking. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, Snork. How's it going?
All right.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Cheryl. How's it going?
I said hi to Snort.
Yeah, hi. It's probably been about 4 years.
Wow.
I know.
It's been so long.
I know.
Once I started teaching, I've pretty much been in a hole.
Wow. I put a link in the chat. It's about a train that was carrying 30 tons of some explosive materials. It's missing. The chemicals are missing from between California and Wyoming. Who got it? And I'm going to tell you, they're going to shut down our service, our phone service. That's what they're going to do. That's why they're getting satellite phones. I want to get one.
No. The satellites that they're working are not going to be the same as the Iridium. So I really don't know any satellites that you're going to be able to trust. And I'm not even sure. Maybe a ham radio would work, but I couldn't even really guarantee that.
One of the walkie-talkies. I saw some, and they work with all that power off and whatever. I think Four Patriots sell it.
Some walkie-talkies might work if you have like somebody that you know you're going to be talking to at a certain distance.
Right.
Don't expect like a network of them, but realistically, now our communication system is not. So we have right now. Elon Musk has a system up called Starlink, which I have, and I could use that as a satellite phone. But he's putting up another one for the government called Iridium. I think it was called Iridium. And there's a third one going up.
I don't trust him. He's playing both sides, I believe.
Same here.
There might be more than two sides.
Yeah, because he's the one that wanted to put computer chips in our head. I remember saying that.
I think also the news kind of messed that up a little bit.
Yeah, but I actually heard him. I saw a video of him saying it.
Yeah, and he was talking about later on that having the computers give extra people like the ability to use extra memory and stuff like that. I don't think we're ready to play with that. But the ones for restoring operations for like people that are paralyzed, I think they need those. And we're a long way from even getting good at that. And right now, some of the ones that work for people that are paralyzed don't require anything to go inside they're all from the outside. Yeah, so our communications systems are all very fragile. And
yes, they are.
So like one of the things I expect is we have a political convention coming up soon, a year away, right?
They got to do something. It's election year.
I'm expecting all kinds of jamming equipment to keep people from sending out signals. Now, according to FCC, that's not legal.
Yeah, I had a jammer. I loved having that thing.
But you know, they were doing that at the last time they were actually jamming, and so don't know what's going to happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All they have to do is just go and prepare.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Democrats are saying, yeah, we're going to start looking in on giving the descendants of slaves reparations. I said, oh, this is the bullshit political ploy. They're running for just an election season, and you supposed to have talked to Ice Cube after Biden got in, and you ain't called Ice Cube afterwards. So I know they ain't giving this. This is all to get black votes. They killed me doing that.
I think it's even worse than that.
Yeah.
So you remember all stories about, you know, be careful of what you wish for. Like somebody's got a genie and whatever gets the wish kind of, but it comes out wrong is how it's implemented. I'm guessing that there will be some stuff that goes along with reparations that is very negative. So like the original attempts at reparations with the 40 acres, there was a statement in there that had to be bottom land. Now, a lot of these farmers that had been slaves were used to working really, really tough to work land, and they did exceptionally well on the bottom land. So they thought, and the way they actually worded it in the original reparations was that they would give them 40 acres of bottom land, and that those 40 acres, when they say bottom land, it means likely to flood like once every 5 years. So most people would consider that undesirable, but they were actually able to profit. And later on, bad political deals, scams, basically they took most of the land away. And I believe only one group of former slaves' children actually did well, and it was in Louisiana. And it's like right now they're having to leave that land due to the island sinking. So they actually took over an island area, and now they're getting another area further inland. But of the original reparations, only one tiny group actually got it, or he actually still had it.
Just like Hillary Clinton built 4 houses in Haiti and left with $10 million.
That we know of.
Yeah, right.
There could be even more.
Yeah, I thought the number was 10 billion, but yeah. But the thing what I'm saying is, I'm guessing there are going to be some really negative connotations. I would not expect, I really doubt that anybody will get over $100,000. And to get the $100,000, you probably have to give up your United States citizenship and leave.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, you have to be very careful what you're asking for. It has to be stipulated so that you're not only controlling what you get, you have to control what you're not getting. So we have to be thinking about that. And everybody that's saying things is not really thinking about what could go wrong. Also, once reparations are paid out, a lot of eligibility for other government services is going to be wiped out. And that's not going to be just for descendants of slaves. That'll just be across the board.
So you guys already, okay, I didn't hear most of this, but I'm glad you brought it up. Now, I saw this post on TikTok about, and Cheryl just brought it up, I believe, right? About the missing explosive stuff. Yeah, so my question is what do you do with something like that?
I can't think of very many good things to do with that.
Explosives, terroristic shit.
What do you do with explosives?
And that was a couple of days before they did the satellite thing, getting them phones.
Yeah. It's weird because it's almost like we know what they're about to do, and then it already happens. We didn't have this kind of warning with 9/11. You know, nobody. I mean, that was pretty masterful. You know, in my opinion.
It also might be an accounting trick where, like, let's say a bunch of explosives went to Norway. They needed to get them off their books, so they just made a fake train thing saying they went there instead.
Maybe it went to Ukraine.
Norway.
Or why? Oh, you brought Norway for a reason. See, Snork is crafty about that one. You got
Nord Stream. Maybe not Norway.
Like a Nord Stream thing, right? I mean, we all know that we blew up Nord Stream pipeline. Everybody knows that, right? I mean, and then we all know now that, you know, the whole Russiagate was bullshit, and hopefully people will be incarcerated, because I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is going after 5 people for impeachment.
Executed.
Exactly.
They should be executed. That's
they
treason.
should be. Yeah. I mean, this is crazy.
Treason.
And Obama was behind a lot of this.
Hell no, he had the shadow government. That's why he never left Washington, bought a house right close to the White House.
True.
I said, what's something going on? I said, he up to something.
Yeah.
All the presidents leave and go back home. He stayed there.
Yeah.
And had Valerie Jarrett living with him.
And he's going back and taking Michael with him, Mr. Michael.
The tranny.
The tranny. Yeah, as crazy as it is, it's pretty obvious. And I was watching. I gotta show you guys this, because I saw this in real time.
He's getting cornholed by a tranny.
Yeah, I saw this in real time when it happened. I'm gonna show you. It's
that White House was a lie, a big lie. Pushed that transgender stuff, paying for sex change for soldiers in the military. And that was
Yeah, I showed. Go ahead and keep talking. I gotta find this thing now. Where did I put it? No, not there. No, not there. Wait, is it here? Well, here's... No, that's not it. Okay. Let me find it. Go ahead. Make your comments. Give me a moment. Thank you very much. I got to find it.
I was just looking it up to see what the equipment, what the material was.
I was going to say that, Snork. Glad you brought it up. Please check that out. Find out what the material is, what its applications are usually used for. You would know that probably more than any of us.
Did I see Ford pickup truck commercial?
Oh my God! Yeah, I did.
And they had a rainbow colored truck. I said, boy, they're gonna go down too.
What?
Bud Light gotta buy their beer back from the people they sold it to.
Yeah.
So Ford has trainee cars now?
Yeah, Ford. Yeah, you got to see the commercials of pickup trucks. They race to one another. Then at the end, you see a rainbow pickup truck with rainbow colors on it.
It sounds like it just sounds like it sounds like what tranny Satan would actually drive to go and give them the old-fashioned fag drags, them pedo fags in hell, and drag them with pride and make sure they scream loud and proud too.
I found it. I'm just learning how to navigate through my TikTok.
It was ammonium nitrate. Just a second. I got to look up something else.
Go ahead. All right, so I got it up.
Something before.
Yeah, I've got it here. I'm gonna play. You'll see it on the YouTube if you guys are watching. But it shows. It's fucking classic. This is classic. It shows. I remember watching this. I
tell you, she love the man.
tell you, she knew.
Yeah, you guys are watching that? Yeah, because I watched that in real time, but I never really thought about it. And then I've seen this several times, and you can go back and, by the way, watch the interview when she was on and stuff like that, or he was on, and it's very obvious. The guy, it's a fucking package, right? It's just so, and nobody, there's still a guy willing to pay on the internet. I think he's on YouTube. He is willing to pay right now $10,000 if somebody can produce a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant. Nobody. Not a single
I wish
person.
I could go and get that kind of money, though.
She don't even have it in her memoir, her book. My daughter bought a book. I said, I don't know why you bought a book, but do me a favor. Look and see if she got pictures of her pregnant with both of them girls, either of them girls. She said no.
No.
I saw the parents. The real parents are their best friends. They're doctors, and they look like them.
Yeah.
The girl got a face just like the woman.
Yeah.
Just like the doctor. They got pictures of them together going on vacation.
Michael.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't remember talking to Michelle when she was standing up ever. So, I mean, she was at a Democratic Party meetings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling
She could
you.
be hiding something big.
I mean, I don't know how there are tons of pictures, not to change from an explosive stuff, but I am just saying that I've seen a ton of these pictures. I got it up now on YouTube now. I'm just going to play it so people can hear it. But I've seen a ton of these freaking pictures of
Michael and I.
It's like a classic. Because she says,
Michael and I also want to acknowledge.
I remember that thing. My husband talking about that was a gun. I said, that wasn't no gun. She got Secret Service on the stage.
Yeah, he had messed up several times saying the word Michael.
Yeah, and dresses too, so I'm sticking right on out. In front of the dress.
Yeah, crazy.
Bro.
That White House was a lot. Joan Williams was right. We did have a gay fan in that White House.
Yeah, we did. I'm not against gays, and I'm not against.
Me either. I'm not.
Nobody is.
But that was a big lie, and he pushed that agenda.
But when they start going after our kids, there's a real big. You got a real big fucking problem.
And going after our military too, because they want to destroy the military.
Yeah. Oh, this is all planned.
They started with Bradley Manning.
Did you guys see what?
Groomed him into becoming a trans.
Yeah. Did you guys see what Congress just said? They came out just like a day or two ago or something, and they were talking about going out against the World Economic Forum. I got to play this for you guys. It's right here. I don't think Snork saw it in the beginning, or he did maybe, but I'm going to play it.
Very serious and threatens this country.
Okay, what?
My colleagues behind me are here is to call attention to something that is very serious and threatens this country. The reason is on May 21st through May 30th, it's a possibility that this president will be giving away our sovereignty. It's a possibility that several agencies have been compromised by China, which they have. What Tetros has done is undermine not only the WHO, but every country that's a member. We sent out a letter on May 10th to Kevin McCarthy to defund for the United States.
So I'm not going to. Yeah.
Anyway, but it's CC'd. It's closed caption. But anyway, so what they
like her.
What?
The man with Obama.
Yeah.
Got the same smile.
That's the same. Yeah, all I'm saying is there's some. I know we've not been the greatest country forever, but more recently, this has just been crazy. I mean, before you guys came on, Snork and I just came to the conclusion that the stuff we used to talk about before 2020 was pretty apropos, or just, the basic, crappy politicians running and all this other crap that, we've been through, Medicare for all and all this other stuff, blah, blah. But more recently, it's just been just very crazy. It's just, ever since 2022. And now we have a guy that was in office that obviously brought a fake
pedophile.
Now, but before, when Obama, he was a fake president with a fake family and a fake gender person, tranny, and it's just all gonna. I think it's gonna come out quick. And if he would have came out in the beginning and said, "Look, I'm with the tranny," right? But that wouldn't have flown with the people.
No.
They knew what
they were doing.
He wasn't going to do that. He would have been kicked to the curb, which shouldn't have been an issue, but it is, because nobody wants. Because I just got to tell. Look, if you want to prance around in your bedroom with your partner and do weird fucking shit, that's great. And if you want to go around, in a dress, or a thong at the beach, which happens, then that's, your prerogative. More power to you. But when you're trying to run a country, with this kind of power and 320 million people, you better be solid. You better be solid.
James, I sent you a picture of the kid's parents on Twitter.
You sent me a picture of the kid's parents?
Mhm.
Oh, where's it in the?
This is getting good.
I sent it to Twitter.
This is getting good.
Oh, you put it through the,
Twitter.
I didn't see it
on
show
Twitter.
up.
Okay. I'm gonna grab it. All right, messages.
And then they have a picture of Michelle when she first came to the White House. She had straight teeth, and she was lighter. And then after she was in the White House, she got dark, and her teeth looked kind of messed up. Mm-hmm. They said that's a clone. I believe in them clones. They have some out there. There's a clone out there, but Biden been there. His granddaughter was on Telegram. They said she'd get an interview. She said, my grandfather, Joe Biden, been dead for 3 years. She said some of his twin brother is playing him in the White House.
His name is Beau Biden. That's correct.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about the cloning thing, which I don't know if Snork knows this.
Cloning crisis actors.
Okay, right? But there's I posted a recent in my Facebook and in my Twitter. They've been working on this process for decades, right? They've already done it with animals, a lamb. They've done it with frogs a while back and other things. But the thing is I want people to understand, and I think this is important. I did put that picture up of is that just a picture, Cheryl, or is that a? Mm-hmm. Okay. I want people to understand that a lot of stuff that's out there, we don't know their capabilities, what they have at their disposal. I know Snork knows a lot, but there are things out there that we may not have, because I just went over the actual most powerful people in the world that put up their names and stuff like that. It's not who you think they are. But a lot of these people that are actually, pulling the strings via the World Economic Forum, China, who fucking knows? They have technology and they have access to bazillions, just countless amount, amount of technology and money and resources that you would never think would be even possible. But what they have and what they know and what they're doing, a lot of this stuff we don't see until decades later. You have to know that. So a lot of these things so for Cheryl to bring up cloning of another human being, you can't just push that. That's just Sci-Fi Channel stuff. No, it's not, because you have to put not just what they're showing you, what'll be published, but there's stuff that I'm damn sure they're doing that they're not ever going to say, because it's either unethical to the masses or it's just illegal via Nuremberg Code, or it's just fucking sick and demented shit that they don't want people knowing or attached to them. Let's get that out of the way for sure. So we don't really know if this person was cloned, or if that person was cloned, or if this person, just so many different variables out there. I mean, and I know you know a lot, Snark, but you can't put it past these people to also be able to doctor information and to edit information and to use CGI. I mean, Snark showed me a picture. Go ahead.
Makeup.
I'm sorry?
Just makeup.
Or just makeup itself. Just simple makeup itself. Yeah, just
mostly, we're probably pretty sure that if anybody was cloned, it wasn't farther back than 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's when these studies started coming out that I posted on Facebook.
Yeah. So.
And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
The problems back then were not so much techniques, but how to overcome the end of the cells triggers things to happen at different ages of the cell.
Mm-hmm.
And these, I forgot the name of the part. Each time the cell splits, they get down in size. Right. And back then, about 30 years ago, they didn't have a way to make, it's called telomeres. They couldn't lengthen the telomeres. But again, we don't know if somebody came up with a way of doing that after.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can't tell.
It's just hard to say. It's just,
James,
because I do know, Cheryl. Go ahead.
I sent you a telegram, the video of the man with Barack Obama, was senator of Chicago, who he had picked up and had sex with. It's a video of a
Telegram. How do you get? I don't even know.
Don't you have Telegram?
Program Telegram?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Is Telegram? Telegram is through. Hang on.
Should be on your cell phone.
You have Telegram. I know I've seen your name, JY.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I got him in there. Can I get it? Can I get Telegram through?
I don't know. You can.
I think
you have the app.
No, see, that's the problem. Is wait, Joe Biden died. Hold on. I think this is. I'm opening it up, or I don't know what I'm doing here. Why don't you can't send it any other way? Because I don't think Telegram, I think you have to use on your phone.
You can actually use it on desktop.
You can? I have it up. I'm clicking stuff, but let me see if I can do the whole thing. And Telegram is through like Twitter, isn't it?
I don't even remember anymore. Probably not through Twitter. Let's see what they got.
Yeah.
Is there an about?
I don't know why I'm lackadaisical on this stuff. Alright, I think I just loaded it. Let me see if it comes up here. English. Okay. Desktop. Okay. Next. Install. Okay, it's installing. It's probably in there. Is the title of the one you sent me, it's from a Naomi or something? Or something about... start messaging. Okay.
Then I do have a picture of that material that's missing from the train. Anytime we're ready, I can put a video up.
Yeah, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, do what
I go to your page on Telegram. The video is right there. I sent it.
Go ahead and try that first, and then I'll...
Yeah. I don't know. That's not it. Yeah, I'm trying to get a code to open this.
He was well groomed to become president.
Well, like I said, I think that Oprah was really the one responsible for getting him to be both senator and president.
Oh, yeah.
And he learned how to speak through that actor that played on Blacklist. He used to play in them movies, The Five Heartbeats, the light-skinned guy with a deep voice. And every time I heard that man's voice, I said, he sound like somebody I know. He said he taught Obama how to talk, and Obama talked just like him.
Yeah.
So after having Obama as president, I think he was a very bad president for the black people.
Yes, he wasn't for. He didn't like black people. He didn't like us.
He didn't like anybody,
and
except for Mike.
So, and basically Oprah using her
Blackheart,
her TV show, shamed all kinds of people into voting for Obama. And realistically, I'm talking way back at the senator part. Realistically, the other guy should have won the Senate seat. He was a really, really good guy. Afterwards, he was the comptroller for Illinois. Illinois was bankrupt when he took over, and he got Illinois back on track. And I think he was a president that we needed. He was who we needed to next become president. And his wife was very, very active in the party and was real wonderful to work with. Michelle sat in the corner and didn't talk to us. When, the other guy, I forgot his name. He was young. He was like 35, 36, 37, something like that. Would have been another Kennedy. I mean, he really had the ideas of what to go, how to work for people, how to get things done.
What was his name?
And I forgot. I'll have to go back and look. But again, like I said, he saved basically Illinois on finances and everything. And he's really the guy we needed. And then when it came to president, again, Obama was pushed by Oprah.
Yeah.
And right now, who's pushing Oprah?
Nobody.
Crystal Ball and Oprah.
I know.
Oh.
You said crystal ball.
Yeah. They just Crystal Ball just got married, and to hype it up, they had Marianne Williamson be the priest or the minister for that.
Yeah.
That was a sorry interview she did with
JFK.
RFK.
RFK,
Yeah.
Well, of course, she is in Marianne Williamson's camp. She wanted to make RFK look bad. So it was a real hack job. And but again,
original say when she was on MSNBC came out.
I didn't hear that.
I said that for her being from MSNBC started coming out.
Okay, she was MSNBC. Okay.
Because I used to like her.
See if I get the sound better.
Yeah, she was. She actually had, but then her and Seagal, and they branched off. They just turned to crap. Yeah, they were challenging, and then they just went with. I mean, they were just like an offshoot. And also, Lee Camp, I don't listen to anymore. Redacted tonight. And of course, Kyle Kalinske, just terrible.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, they horrible.
Horrible.
What happened to what's the call from Humanist Report? I ain't been seeing him.
Yeah.
He's an AIDS pedo commie.
Yeah, exactly. Also,
They all are horrible.
you guys remember Jamal? He's been on Montauk a few times.
Is he
Jamal.
with his
He went
is he
on
with
that
his
side.
wife anymore?
He went.
He's changed. I don't think he's with his wife no more.
Yeah, I think they're not together. I'm not sure. Not, you know.
Yeah,
That's
because he's traveling all overseas and stuff.
Yeah.
And he changed.
Yeah, he went full World Economic Forum, mask mandates, vaccine, the whole 9 yards. He did.
A damn shame.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm there's, like we were saying, I was saying earlier to Snork, there's a lot of us that left. The only person that actually came on after Taylor Tibby, I don't know if you guys remember him.
Yeah.
But he used to come on, and he would, he's the guy he was always in his bed for some reason. But he came on, he had to get jabbed because of his work and shit. But he still, came on, and then he realized, the mistake and all this. There's a lot of people out there that I think it's just pride, or ego, to where they won't, they've already gone down that path. They're already on that train. They've drinking the Kool-Aid, literally, and they're just going to stay on it, right? And they're just
my brother, he got the vaccination, and he's just like, well, I know you know a lot of stuff. I don't know. You have time to find out these things. I said, well, it's true. He said, well, it don't bother me. I said, that's the problem. When the shit falls and it happens, you're going to be thinking of us. My sister tried to tell me. They don't want to believe anything.
I know.
We should be on the streets like they are in Paris and these other countries protesting.
It's just nuts. I'm going through it with my family and some friends.
And somebody did a video thanking the unvaccinated. They say we were stronger than Marie, stood up to our beliefs and not take that crap.
Yeah, that's it. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, he said y'all lost your jobs, family members, friends. That's what they wanted to do. They didn't want us to communicate with one another. And everybody fell into that. A lot of people fell into that trap. I've known people that was, you can't come to the wedding unless you vaccinated. What?
What? That's weird.
And like my sister, she had to get 2 jabs to get this job, and then they let her go because they make a change, moving top salaries out the way. That's a darn shame.
After she sacrificed herself with a...
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, man.
I said, I wish you could sue him.
Yep. There's a lot of people there's an attorney that actually... I wonder if I have...
Talking about Thomas Renz?
Well, Thomas Renz, but there's a guy that I contacted for other people. I got it said Feds for Medical Freedom, and he's actually an attorney firm, and they're going after all these OSHA approved for mandate vaccination processes.
I was shocked OSHA went along with that.
That just shows you the depth.
Everybody was bought and paid for.
Yep, exactly.
Even the hospitals. The hospitals get about $400,000 to get a COVID patient. The doctors get $39,000 if you put them on a ventilator. They were making a problem. And everybody didn't die from COVID. They died from them damn ventilators and that Resveratrol. And I found out it's cyanide in that Resveratrol. I saw a documentary on it. Rumsfeld was working on that.
Yeah.
And they put cyanide in it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there that we're just finding out. And I've been posting for a long time that our country, the FDA, the HHS, anything that's born or created or connected to it, Health and Human, like care, like state care programs,
American Red Cross.
yeah, all compromised, all completely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just God, and some of them are still doing it, sadly.
Another angle. You ever heard of follow the money? Who made
Yep,
the most profit?
follow the money.
Who made the most profit off of COVID? You think it's the COVID people? It's not. So when all the hospitals that were getting federal funds for COVID people, not being paid by insurance, they were getting federal funds for all this. So the insurance companies weren't getting hit very hard by that. But what did they lose? So they had a whole bunch of deaths for people that would be very expensive to be on their insurance rolls. So those are people that had existing conditions, the ones that are really expensive to treat for their life. So all of a sudden, all these really expensive people died. The windfall for the insurance companies got to be huge.
Yeah, crazy.
So they're left with the healthy young people. All the sick old people died, or not all, but many.
We were kind of
getting. And the White House made money off of, made millions of dollars off of it.
Well, yeah, a lot.
I can't believe they're using our tax dollars to kill us.
Yeah,
multiple sides.
And that should make you really angry and get out on the streets. I can't get out there by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, and plus I don't want any fucking, government alphabet packet fucking snatching me and probably gonna go and groom or rape or murder me.
Yeah, exactly. Snork and I were talking about I think it was right before you guys came on, what the body is doing with this foreign entity. And from what may have stumped a lot of people is, yes, it is getting through, but I believe there are some out there, or instances, if it's not that much, I could be wrong, I'm just throwing this out there, it's a theory, this is a theory, that the body, the way it's built by God, or whatever universal wonderful creature created everything, right, made us so resilient that it has a natural defense mechanism. Because I think there are some people out there that are overcoming this. Now, there is a AIDS aspect which people are talking about, and it's starting to become more prevalent. I can take you to the article for that.
HIV.
Yeah. So the thing is for people that are still standing, still standing, their bodies have been able to reject it, I think, at a certain point. Do you kind of believe that could be the case? Well, they're shedding too.
The vaccinated are shedding, so other people can get it, like the unvaccinated. But I'm going to be taking my vitamins, so I don't get anything. I very rarely get a cold. Yeah. And they need to stop giving out that test. They recalled them again the second time. They contaminated. It doesn't detect anything. Dr. Muller said he invented it. He said it can't detect the common cold. So I don't know how they was detecting people with COVID. They probably had the common cold or bad flu.
Right.
Yeah. I took that test one time. That messed up my nostrils. I never had allergy problems. Since I got that test in 2021, my nostrils have not been right, and I got this constant cough. And I said, don't tell me it's my cigarettes, because I didn't have this cough, and I was still smoking cigarettes till I got that test. It was something in there. The Q-tip was wet. And I'm like, this thing is what you said. No, it's not. I said, my nostril was dry when I got in here. That test is not real. And I've been telling people, why do you keep going to get the test? It's not real. And if the post office, if Biden had said postal workers had to get that vaccine, I would have resigned.
Yep.
I would have resigned. I'm not getting, because on Pfizer website said the vaccine is a software. It is a software.
Yeah,
it's a kill switch. They got a computer chip in that shit. If they want to kill you, they can.
What do you think about that, Snark? Do you think there's something small enough inside there where they could use a frequency or something to activate something?
They found it under a microscope.
I don't really follow that one. As we get smaller and smaller, the amount of intelligence we can put in a device gets smaller and smaller. So our abilities to make radios, the radio frequencies we listen to, the antenna has to be a certain size. So the distance that we could actually be able to hear something from, we need something that's very strong, be able to hit a very small, and the frequencies would have to be massively high.
Well,
so
that's why they got those 5G towers.
No, but as we get 5G is still a very big antenna that we'd need to have on the device.
And that's why they were putting them. They were putting them up when we were on lockdown.
But the maximum antenna we could have on a device that's injectable would be less than, like 100,000
It's really
to
small.
the inch.
I saw it under the microscope. It's really small.
And I'm thinking that you might not have been presented good information on, so that we might be able to put a signal out that can make a little fiber move.
I saw a video from the doctors all over the world in a room, because they were talking about that, and they looked in at it, and they said, that's a computer chip. It was real small. They had it under the microscope, saw it on video. These are all doctors that are being censored. They showed it.
Well, there's a difference between a sensor. So I could put something in, and I might be able to make something move. But to be able to understand a radio wave, decode it, make it do an operation, is one thing. To have a computer network that can go on, the number of chips just gets massively huge in a very small amount of time. And very, very tiny things in our bloodstream causes clots, things that can aggregate on. So we cannot take large objects into our bloodstream without having complications. So I think a lot of this is people magnifying what is possible to go in. There are things that we can put in the blood. There are things that can be manipulated by stuff on the outside. They're very simple. And again, so the amount of information that we could do goes down, the smaller we get things. I'm not seeing.
I know that computer chip was very, very small. You could barely see it.
I know very, very small ones. And like I said, you might not be able to see it, but it's still going to be big enough to clock your blood.
Yeah.
And I actually do teach working with the very small stuff.
Micro.
And that spike protein causes blood clots.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but it's up on YouTube. There's a show called Westworld, which I love that show. And in the show Westworld, did you ever watch Westworld, Eric?
I watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yul Brynner.
Yeah, Yul Brynner. Great freaking movie.
Fine man.
But they made a new one, and they had like 3 or 4 seasons, and I wish they'd bring it back. It was brilliant. But it got a little crazy. But towards the end, they were able to control the synthetic people through a resonating sound wave. And I'm showing the picture of this giant, now this is all CGI, right? It's out. I think they used Ellis Island to make it or something. I'm not sure. The Statue of Liberty. But they made this giant antenna that would reverberate with this code, and it's the way these things were set up and the way they reflected it to create to get these people to do certain things, either to activate and to do certain things like attack or sleep or stop moving. But just that itself, and the reason why I'm showing this is I'm just saying that it could very well be that there is a process or a way, and I'm not sure if mRNA has that kind of technology now, but it could. I'm just throwing theories out here that it could trigger something or alter something for it to move or shape that could cause damage. Now, when Cheryl's talking about, a kill switch, I don't think she's talking about like right now. It just explodes.
They have data centers with a computer system in there where they store your data and can follow you.
Yeah.
They do.
That's different. That's not in the bloodstream. That is something that has got to be inserted. Those are
if you have the chip inserted in the vaccine, they can do something. The chip is
we
in
can't
the
put
vaccine.
it past it. Snork, I know you're shaking your head. I know he's doing the but we need to understand that like I said earlier,
this is something that's never done to humans before.
Yes, it could be something that like we don't know what the fuck the kind of technology. When you're a bazillionaire,
See them as a bunch of.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
These motherfuckers are sick. They are really sick.
Yeah, they're sick bastards.
I see them as a bunch of mad scientists.
Exactly.
From stage 4 cancer from that darn vaccine. She got it so quick and it took her out of here. She didn't get a chance to get chemo.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was brain cancer, right?
No. Well, she had a couple of things in her head and a little spot in the front. Yeah, it took her out of here. She didn't get her chance to get chemo.
That's
only 67 years old.
Yeah. So right now, these little chips, you might be able to go 100 times smaller than this. But their effectiveness gets less as they get smaller and smaller.
Wait,
Let's see if I
can you
zoom
put that
in a
back
little
up
bit.
again? No. Can you put it back up again? You don't need
Trying to see if I get this
I
closer.
can't see it.
Now I got it too much light.
They ain't say nothing about they disappear either. They'll get smaller.
Oh, there we go. Had it backwards. Had it so I could see it, but you guys couldn't. So these right now.
Each one of those is a chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each one of these could store a little bit of
5 of them
power. This one stores power. And the smaller it gets, the less it can store power. And you need one of these to be able to power a device. So I might be able to make this 100 times smaller.
Yeah, I think
but as this gets smaller, then it gets to the point where there's a certain size we can't go over, or it will not, or I mean, it will kill you going into your blood system. So we have a problem with these, and this is actually why I'm going to Kansas next week.
Oh wow!
Next month. So
to create weapons of mass destruction, Snork.
No. But actually, I am working with the small stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That is totally.
So I am up on what is available, and again, we have this huge problem that stuff that's put in the news gets repeated. Yeah. Other news people put it across as being true, and as this gets out, and half the time stuff that's coming in from sci-fi gets put in. The amount of information that we could put on a chip right now is very, very tiny.
Yeah.
When we're talking about what you can put on what you put on for a cat, the chip seems small, but mostly like what you put on for a cat, it's gonna be smaller. It's gonna be smaller than one of these. But it's still going to be huge. Still going to be huge. So if it's half the size of this, I gotta put my light back on.
Not to get off the subject, James, have you heard of Dr. Rashid Buttar?
Yeah, they killed him. They poisoned him.
Yeah, they killed him. He said, I saw his interview, he said,
No, he said they
I got
would.
a poison. I never got the vaccine. He was saying it was stronger than the vaccine. That's messed up. That's really messed up. Because
He predicted it. He said it. He told. I mean, the whole thing.
No, it was a letter that was sent to Dr. Zelenko.
Right.
And he was on the hit list. Pfizer put it out there. He was on the hit list. Dr. Zelenko and this Dr. Nicole something. She changed her name and moved away. Went somewhere. But Dr. Zelenko got the cancer back. He died. And now Rashid Buttar died.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they killed Dr. Mullis, too. They created that PCR test that don't work. They took them out, and a couple months later, they brought out that test and put that vaccine out. I just hated to see all the people sitting in the line getting that vaccine. I'm like, y'all forgot our history. The government killed their own president. Yeah, I see it, Snort.
Yeah. When we talk about stuff like that, a lot of money's involved.
When they said that, there's no way they can put that in the vaccine.
Yeah. But when there's a lot of money involved, people do get killed. I mean, I don't put it across the company to kill somebody that's hitting their profits. And it sounds unethical.
It's happened in many
instances. Don't put it across.
The mafia is well renowned for doing that, you know.
I saw an interview with an ex-CIA agent, and he talked about he had 2 weeks to live, and he said he killed Bob Marley.
Oh yeah, who knows? Well, the thing that I wanted to point out about the chip theory is that I don't think it's a chip. I think it's a reactionary device that, if it's anything, for example, the smallest thing that I'm showing on the internet, I could be wrong, up on the screen right now is a 2 nanometer chip from IBM. That's it. And this is in 2022, right? Now, I'm sure there might be, that's chip technology puts 50 billion transistor each size. Okay. So that's all. But what I'm talking about is something that actually is activated or bends or moves or changes form with a particular gigahertz. That could be something.
Well, I know Karen Kingston said they and others said they need to take them 5G towers down because that affects people with that vaccine.
Well, 5G is.
They said they need. Yeah, they said take them down. They put them up when we were locked down. Yeah. My nephew's mom said across the street, the building is abandoned. They put 5G towers up, like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. 5G is bad anyway.
What they putting them up there for?
Yeah, 5G. Well, if you ever seen a bird stand on a 5G radiating device tower, right? They die.
Well, it is when it's right at the microwave tower.
Yeah,
it's more than a microwave. I mean, more than what they'd get if they were standing in a microwave oven.
Like right off the bat. So a lot of these towers will have these long, and you can't see them, but they have these long devices, poles. They're like really thin, and they keep birds away from it and try to, right?
I think they just let them die now.
Yeah, well, they used to do that. I haven't seen them recently. That I don't think they care. But the technology, and I'm going to tell you right now, I got a 5G phone. I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference between a 5G and a 4G. It was like a billionth of a millisecond.
The 4G worked better.
Yeah, the 4G, yeah, that's what I'm hearing from everybody.
It worked better because I used to get service and be able to talk in my kitchen when they went up to. When my husband switched to 5G, I was so mad. The guy tried to get my 4G box back, but they took it.
Yeah.
I said I couldn't talk on my phone. I had to walk in the other area in my house to talk on the phone because they got 5G now.
People are asking for it back.
It's not like the 4G.
That's a big request. People are saying we don't want 5G phones, we want 4G phones. But
well,
sadly,
Comcast got
it's hard to get
10G now. I don't know how they get out 10G.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
service still suck.
Oh, my gosh. That's craziness.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard
Xfinity
of
has
10G yet.
Yeah, 10G.
What you say, Snort?
He hadn't heard
I
of
hadn't
it.
heard of the 10G yet.
Oh, yeah, well, they got it. They
I got
advertise it.
I got 10G on, well, there's 10G on the wired service, if that's what they mean. But it's not,
I don't
not
know.
wireless.
They say the 10G internet service. Faster internet service. They got 10G. I'm like, how you got 10G? I didn't hear China got that.
10G is actually wired. So that's fiber to your house and then wire inside. But no, you're not going to be communicating between a wireless device and at 10G. And there's another one out called Li-Fi. And Li-Fi is no radio waves. So that's going to be completely different. So we don't know much about that.
Well, it sounds safer. And then I think they're going to have Di-Fi pretty soon. But
I don't know about Di-Fi, but
they
the Li-Fi is very secure. So if you can't see it, it won't give you information. So if you're using a company and you want your communications not to go to the outside world, Li-Fi is for that. So you can't tap into it. Whereas one of the problems with Wi-Fi is that people can actually participate in your conversations, even if it's just listening.
What is getting VPN is better?
A VPN is a system where you're basically telling it you've got another computer somewhere else acting as though it's you. So you VPN, you basically call the other computer, and it calls another one for you, and the intermediaries make it look like you're somewhere else. A lot of people use that if they want to watch like actual British TV shows from England, or if somebody is in Japan and watch American TV show that's only visible, because a lot of times if you're on something like Netflix, what you're allowed to see in each country is limited. So if you want to see what's in another country, you might have to switch to make it look like you're in that country so that you can watch those TV shows. And that's kind of a significant trickery. But
I gotta tell you guys, a nanoparticle is pretty freaking small. It's like as big as a glucose molecule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of it the other way. It's pretty big. So not much bigger than a glucose molecule.
Right.
And you're going to have problems of that going through your bloodstream.
Oh, that's right, huh?
So
I'm gonna take a 12-foot clock out of some man.
I can show the pictures of that, but I'm not gonna.
But those people that had the big clots in their legs, they didn't live.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying is you do not want clots.
I think there's a resistance. I think some people. I think it depends on what you take and how you beat it up, because I don't.
You can take some medicine to dissolve it over time, and it takes a long time. I mean, I had some, and it took months to get rid of them. You try to go too fast, and it won't work. I mean, by not working, I mean you don't live.
So how would you say that your health? Go ahead.
This guy named Jonathan Otto, he has a thing out. He was on the Stu Peters show, and he helped a lot of people with they got the vaccine. He said, especially if you're in a parasite city, they give you a detox, and a lot of them said I felt a lot better if I took that. And it's different videos he shows with the steps you can go through. They can help you.
Yeah, there's some stuff out there that I'm seeing. I just the problem is once it gets, I think that the biggest issue is if it gets like embedded in your DNA, right?
Well, also
DNA is already destroyed from getting the vaccine.
Yeah, it does
DNA
look like
your bloodstream is destroyed.
No, that the bloodstream itself isn't, but you're damaged in what you get produced as your original cells get out. Then the damage gets wrong. So I believe what I got, and again, I'm not medical, but I believe that
yes, we are not medical virologists or professionals. We're just making Conclusions and assumptions, YouTube.
And opinion.
And I
Bastards.
seen what the
Looks
blood
like-
looks like
Yeah, yeah.
before and what the blood looks like after people get the vaccine. It don't look like blood.
Right. But
And-
it looks
and
like
it's-
it's about 7 months.
Yeah.
About 7 months before you return back to your old stuff coming back out again.
Your
and
old
then-
self come back? I ain't think that comes back.
Well,
I didn't think that comes back.
No.
That's why they was telling you nobody should be getting that because it changes your whole makeup of your body that God gave you.
yeah, not not
Snark is
all of this.
looking a little Bill Gates lately. I'm just saying.
No, he's not, Smack.
But no, so
Wouldn't that
a
be
lot of what
crazy
we're-
if his DNA, you used his DNA to go to everybody?
But
And they
a lot of what we were told was once you got the shot, you'd be immune for life. I'm looks like the immunity only lasted less than 7 months.
But you were sick though most of the time. So does that make any sense? So
I
here's
was more sick from what happened after I got it. So I became intolerant of the other medicines I was taking. And it ruined my ability to process vitamin D
it took
and
away
B.
his immunity.
Yeah, basically.
It took away his immunity to fight off stuff.
So
God gave us stuff in our body I'm wondering about that shot we got in our arm that left that permanent mark.
Yeah, remember that?
I don't know what the hell was in there.
Snark, well, what's
I
that
remember
thing
standing in line at school to get that.
that left that little round with the 3 pokes in
Yep,
it?
I still got it on my arm,
man.
and I'm 57 years old and it's still there.
What is
That was smallpox.
Smallpox.
That was smallpox? I'm glad I didn't get smallpox. 'Cause every time they give you a vaccine for something, you get it. Everything I think they made at South here, they made it. Cancer, smallpox, measles, chickenpox, because the earth is natural. God created this.
For the polio, you guys should have got a liquid, mouth by mouth.
The polio is the liquid, right?
No, I got a shot with polio. Only way you could get the liquid is
Wait,
like
which one are
when
you
I
talking
got
about?
lupus and my mom got lupus. I had to get my grandkids will have to get the liquid version of the polio drop.
Well, no,
because-
only the really old people got the shot for polio. It was somewhere in the mid 60s.
Really old?
They
Is that,
started.
you got to see the really old.
The really old. So somewhere in the mid 60s, they started using the liquid.
Okay.
Well, they must have been after. I born in '65, so I know I got the needle.
Right about that. And not every
Yeah.
neighborhood would have got it at the same time. So depending on where you were from a medical facility, how many people. So like being out here in Iowa where we had towns of 100,000 people was rare. You know, if you're out in Pennsylvania where a town of less than 100,000 is rare. Right? You know, the amount of medicine that it can get out there is not going to be the same amounts.
I
Also-
think they were still giving out the shots because when my mom had got lupus, they had me give my kids the polio drops because if she was around them with the needle, it was like she would get polio because she had lupus. That's what I was told. But everybody really does. Every doctor don't know nothing about lupus because I know that now because I was put on medicine. I have lupus, but I have discoid lupus. I shouldn't have never been put on the medicine to take it. And there's so much damage to my body.
Yeah.
Side effects.
And there's so many drugs out there that's impossible for one doctor to know them all. So like in my case, it took me to come back several tests before they figured out that it was my blood pressure medicine that I couldn't take anymore.
I got it up on YouTube.
And I'm wondering how many people died from it, just from having the same problem.
Yeah.
You guys see? Remember that gun? I know that Eric doesn't. He didn't have to go through that, but dude, I remember that day like it was just a second ago because
we did not.
Remember
we did
that
not
gun?
have that nice easy gun. No, did not have that.
No, that's what I had when I was a kid.
I know. I had the worst one.
Oh, which one did you have? Because mine was.
We had a syringe with multiple needles.
That's the one I had. What did it look like? Is it one of these? Maybe that's not the
That
one.
was a gun they gave us in our arms.
Yeah.
That was a gun, like.
See, this one here is meant to have a cartridge full of the fluid, and you go down the line and go to.
Yeah,
the ones we had, they had to put a new cartridge in for every patient.
Multiple needles.
And today they giving these kids so many shots, it is not funny. And I hate they giving the newborn babies that hepatitis shot. What are you giving them that for?
I know. There's no reason.
Yeah, hepatitis shot. And I'm pissed off at my daughter. She let my two grandkids get it. My other granddaughter, her mother didn't let her get it. And I'm like, glad she didn't. What the hell are they giving that hepatitis shot out for? Even RFK mentioned about that. They shouldn't be giving them that. And they're coming out with more and more and more new vaccines. You don't need medicine. We have everything natural. There's so much stuff out you can take to help your body. I'm thank God I'm not on no prescription drug medications. I thank God I am not.
Yep. So this happened. There's this medication you get for type 2, right? And I was getting it, and then I changed my diet away from sugar, and I don't eat hardly anything with sugar. I mean, there's stuff out there, but I don't go out and buy a donut every day or add sugar to anything because the sugar now is processed. If I do eat sugar, it's going to be unrefined sugar, okay? So I have not taken the stuff that I was recommended, and I went back to the doctor to get a checkup, and I was perfect. My what is that called when you have, what's the number that they use to detect if you're
A1C?
The A1C, the test, yeah. It was just perfect. It was like 68 or something. I don't know. One of nothing.
But you remember back in the day, they wasn't that. I think there was poison in our food, but it wasn't as bad because everybody was, a lot of people was overweight. It's a lot of obese people in this country.
No, they changed it. The ingredients.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. And that's how
Cheerios
people get diabetes. I went to school with people. They were healthy and got older, and they had to get dialysis. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
thing that's really different is I forgot the name of it. The high fructose corn syrup. So it really hits you hard. It's harder than just
regular sugar. Yes, it does. If you drink a lot of that stuff, that stevia, that sucralose, and that aspartame, all those sugars are no good. We had pure cane sugar back in the day, and nobody was obese. Nobody got diabetes.
Yep.
I don't remember anybody having cancer. Maybe one person when I was growing up.
Yep. I had when I was a kid, I was 12, 13. I mean, I was working on the ranch, my grandfather's ranch, when I was 8 or 9 years old. So I was working with the Mexicans, digging ditches and all kinds of stuff. But a buddy of mine, when we were younger, we took the lawnmower. I don't know, we were 10, 11 years old. We'd go up and down the street in the summer, and I'm showing you a picture of the lawnmower we used.
Wow.
Right? That's the lawnmower we used to cut grass.
That was your GoFundMe. That was your GoFundMe thing back in the day.
That was my GoFundMe. If I needed to get money to get a bike, to get parts for my bike or whatever, that's how I would.
The best sugar is this one. It's monk fruit, so it doesn't impact your insulin system, and you have to use a smaller amount of it. Now, there also is another one that says monk fruit, and on it it'll have another chemical, and that other chemical is something you don't want. I'm trying to remember what the other chemical is. So, this is the pure monk fruit powder, and it's got some fiber in it, whatever, but it really has no impact other than adding sweetness. And let me put in, I gotta
pure
remember what the other
sugar.
ones.
I used to get that when I was a kid in Hawaii. I'm telling
this
you,
one
raw
has
sugar too.
Yeah, but the
difference
monk fruit
was
actually
huge.
is a natural fruit. It's got no calories at all. And let me pull up this other one here.
You need calories. The things have changed over time, Snark. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's monk fruit.
Well, you have to watch your fruit now, Snort, because Bill Gates is spraying this plastic stuff on the fruit.
Synthetic protection.
And it's hard. You can't wash it off. It will not wash off.
Yes. I'm hearing it's very
appeal.
bad.
It's called appeal, which is bad. Well, somebody looked at the ingredients of it, and I've got it on my Twitter somewhere. But it's terrible. It's just terrible. It's like
I got the other one. So the other one is called monk fruit sweetener with erythritol. Mm-hmm. The erythritol tastes good. With monk fruit with erythritol, you can't tell it from real sugar. Now, if you drink more than 2 cups of it, it starts turning into a laxative. If you drink more than 2 quarts, I mean, first time I made lemonade with this, that was great. Because I was cutting down on sugar, right? I made 2 gallons. I drank 2 gallons in one day. After 2 cups, it basically starts to become a laxative. And I had a very bad night. But yeah, so a lot of the ones that are out there have erythritol in them, and you do not want that. And so, like the one I said, I think this little bottle has lasted me like 6 months, maybe more. Wow. You use, it comes, no, I don't have it in this one. Comes with a little spoon. And the little spoon.
Is it expensive?
Yeah, it's like $24, but
that's what I thought. Yep.
One jar that size, I mean, how much is sugar? One jar that size is like 15 pounds of sugar.
Wow. I'm looking at the ingredients of Cheerios. And the reason why I'm looking at the ingredients of Cheerios is because it's changed, sadly. Over time, they've added. When Cheerios first came out, it had like 5 ingredients, and now it's like 1,000. Shit, there's stuff in there. Peroxidine hydrochloride and thiamine mononitrate and just
bunch of crap.
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff that I've never, and it's just really sad because
niacin, they did have that in our food. Diamond, niacin, they took a lot of that stuff out where you needed that.
Yeah.
But they sprayed up all those cereals no good because they spray the crop fields with that pesticide that causes cancer. Even the oatmeal.
We actually don't know how much because realistically we should have had studies on that. But there are really no good studies on it. So my wife did work with glyphosate at Monsanto. And she would study its effect on bugs, and she worked with it in what was called parent testing. As far as I know, all of the people in her group died.
Holy shit.
So
nasty.
And they're giving this to children. The children eat this cereal every morning and oatmeal.
Yep.
Yeah. But so I mean, like I was trying to get a hold of somebody, get help after she died. What do I need to do to get all the stuff done? And there's a lot of paperwork you have to do, and I call up and they go, no, she died. The people I try to call, just so many people were gone. But I did have a picture of some of that stuff from that train blowing up, and I could share that if you want.
Yeah, put it.
I'm going to have to go to bed
Which
soon.
train blowing up?
Yeah, I'm going.
No, I have
the
stuff that was missing from the train. There was another instance of that actually happening, and let me see. I'm not going to share sound on this one.
Okay.
but you should be able to see now. I've got a Beirut explosion video up. Now, the material that blew up, when it blows up, it turns to a red cloud, a reddish, orangish cloud. When you're seeing a white cloud, so the Beirut explosion was really 3 explosions. So this was the first explosion that you're seeing now on the screen, I believe.
Yeah,
but it's going to be really fast. So you're going to see the white explosion, you're going to see the black explosion, and then you're going to see the big explosion.
Okay.
Surprisingly, it's the red one, the second one. The white one that comes after is wheat. So it's going to go really fast. So we get the red and then the white. So most people aren't ready for it. But it's really clear that was the ammonium nitrate going off.
Is that the stuff that we're missing thousands of pounds of?
Yeah.
Great.
So now this is a grain bin. This is hundreds of feet high.
I remember this explosion. I remember the reporting and all that stuff. That's nuts.
So right there, there's no way you can't say that's a big reddish brown explosion.
Oh, totally.
I get my oatmeal from the Amish.
It's always funny that you guys have Amish out there. I guess ours came
Yeah,
from...
they all over. They got Lancaster, PA.
Mine's
There's
far
a
away.
lot of Amish out there.
I went to the Amish store that I thought was an Amish
Did you
store.
get your Lord?
Hold on, and I thought was the Amish store, but it was Amish furniture, and that was like 10 miles away, and I'm like, oh man, because I saw the store because they had products in there. Like meat and food and stuff
up
like
there in Lancaster and they down Center City. If you ever come to Philly, go to the Reading Terminal. They all in there.
I'm gonna go.
All in there.
You can get lard
I get
online.
my grits.
Yeah,
You can buy. I have Miller's Farm. That's the one they went up and Pennsylvania. The government went up there. The agents talking about. You can't be. You won't have to give your cows antibiotics and stuff like this.
Miller's.
And they shut him down. But he won this case. They said the Supreme Court up in Pennsylvania said he does not have to use any chemicals in his animals and growing his food.
Right.
You can order from him online. They deliver.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you call it? Miller's Farm.
Miller's. Let me see. I get an email from them every day.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's in
Miller's Farm,
Pennsylvania. I forgot what part of Pennsylvania.
Is it Miller's Organic Farm? Or
I'm
Miller?
not sure.
Or
I'm going to go check
Miller's
my email.
Organic Farm Market? Orchard Market.
Let me check my email. Open it up. Come on.
It's Miller's Organic Farm. And it's got a picture of a good-looking Amish lady.
There's actually a Highway 20.
Miller's Bio Farm.
Oh, shit.
Miller's Bio Farm. That's what it is.
U.S. Highway 20 between Iowa and Pennsylvania is a route where when women finish the 8th grade, they have to leave school. So when they get out of 8th grade, they put them on a van out here in Iowa and they send them somewhere along, because there's all these Amish communities between here and Pennsylvania where they trade the women when they turn whatever age it is, they get out of 8th grade.
What?
So that they marry into the different communities so they don't have this problem. And they're just constant. You can't almost go into on Highway 20. You can't go into a gas station without seeing one of these. They always go in pairs, 2 white vans full of Amish women. And it's like, it's almost a trade of people going back and forth between the
like trading parts. The people, or trade of humans?
Trading people, yeah.
Oh,
so it's like when their women at this town turn or get out of grade 8, then they're sent to the next town.
Yeah, I know one Amish family I go to all the time. One of their girls got picked up. I think that guy was Mexican. And she was coming from church, and he kidnapped her and killed her. It took them a while to find her body, but they got him. I said, that's a shame. Yeah, but their food is good. I get the jelly. I don't buy Welch's. Welch's been nasty. It been changed. I get the jelly, the honey, grits,
Yeah, I'm there.
oatmeal.
I saved it. All right,
And
it's
I get
after
the
2.
lard, too.
Hey, just letting you guys know, I'm working with Chad and Zach and Lambert. We're working on a process to help people and to fix the voting system. That's what we're doing. I can't really give you more information than that. But we're working on
I
something.
don't know how you're going to fix that voting system because the Democrats are dirty.
Yeah,
dirty.
Well, they're about to get, if the Republicans do this right, and
they need to get some testicular. That's what they need to get.
They need to get some freaking gonads. Yes, exactly.
Balls. All tucked in. They should be.
They need some fucking huevos. They need some huevos, man. So, as they say in Santa Ana, California, yeah, which they are. Which, like I said, when they brought out that World Economic Forum thing, which was just recent a few days ago, and that they're going after for the administration following this seditionist pattern of behavior and activities, that could be huge. I'm glad they brought it up.
But the Croatian MEF came out today and said the World Health Organization needs to be described as a terrorist group.
They are
terrorists. They lied to us about everything.
Absolutely.
He said they lied to us about everything.
Yep, they are a freaking terrorist.
But when Trump got in office, he stopped funding all them groups.
Well, he did that. He did when he was in office. He pulled the plug on all those guys.
Yeah, all them groups.
Which
and
I didn't know the significance of
money.
that. Yeah, I didn't know the significance of that back then. But I do now. So hopefully you can get that. But here's the thing: we need to get on board with getting these people out of the system as soon as possible. So, like I said to everybody, and I'm doing my pitch before I go. It's go to Stop the World Economic Forum. StopTheWEF.org or FTheWEF.org, or just contact me on my Twitter or whatever. But you guys know the reason why I make these YouTubes are basically just documentaries, right? I had to create another channel because they gave me a second strike on my second channel, so I made it. So now I'm on my 8th channel because we're talking, because we're just flinging out theories and our perspectives and questions, and because of this, which is interesting. They take me down because I'm known to the FBI, which hopefully will be dismantled, as an influence operator, which is a terrorist type person. So anyway,
remember the FBI came to Evan's house?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
I remember.
That's crazy. All right, I've been here since, like I said, I was helping Chad earlier on Zoom. We had an hour or so together at about 9 o'clock, and then I stopped for a little bit and came back on about 11ish. So I've been on for a while, sitting on my butt. I do appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I might come on again tomorrow night, but I am spending time with family. But I will let you know, either or. Thanks for being here. I love you all very much. You guys are fantastic people.
Love you all. It's good to see you guys and good to hear from you guys.
Very happy that some of us made it. That's all I have to say about that. Right?
True.
Right. And we're still making it, and we're still doing it. Take care. I'm going to go buy some food tomorrow from Miller's Food. Okay, take care. Aloha. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night, Snort.
Night.
Thanks, Snort.